The funny thing about life is how quietly it tries to warn you that you're drifting away from the person you were meant to be. You don't notice it at first. You're too busy dealing with the noise, the deadlines, the responsibilities, the disappointments, the people who take more than they give. But there's always that one moment, small but sharp, where you feel something is off. You feel a kind of heaviness that isn't physical. A kind of truth pressing against your ribs from the inside, telling you that you're meant for more than the cycle you're trapped in. And the worst part, you know it, you've always known it. You've just been too tired, too distracted, or too afraid to face it. Most people ignore that feeling. They drown it in routine, they bury it with excuses, they hide it under comfort. They tell themselves, it's fine, I'll change later, as if later is a guaranteed gift and not a disappearing illusion. But not you. You're here listening to this voice for a reason. Somewhere inside you, there's a spark that refuses to die. A part of you that still believes you're capable of becoming someone stronger, sharper, more disciplined, more dangerous to your limitations. That part of you has been whispering for years, and now, finally, you're listening. Let's be honest about something. Your life didn't get messed up because you were weak. It got messed up because you tolerated too much. You tolerated disrespect, laziness, fear, doubt, delayed goals, broken promises you made to yourself. And every time you tolerated those things, you gave away a piece of your power. That's how people lose themselves. Not in a moment, but in a slow drip of self-betrayal. But here's the good news, you can take it all back. You can reclaim every piece of yourself that you abandoned. It won't be comfortable. It won't be easy. But transformation never is. Growth demands a price, and the price is always paid in discomfort. The world won't clap for you when you start. It never does. People won't believe in your comeback until it's finished. They won't cheer for you while you're grinding in silence. They won't understand why you're distancing yourself, why you're saying no more often, why you're suddenly focused on goals you used to ignore. That's fine. You're not doing this for applause. You're doing this because your future deserves a version of you who isn't half asleep, half committed, or half alive. Let me tell you something uncomfortable but true. Your biggest enemy is not your past, your environment, your mistakes, or the people who doubted you. Your biggest enemy is the voice inside your head that tells you to stay the same. That voice is cunning. It knows your weaknesses. It knows how to push your buttons. It knows exactly which fears to amplify to keep you small. What if you fail? What will people think? It's too late. You're not ready. You're not good enough. These ideas slip into your mind so quietly you start believing they're facts. But they're not facts. They're chains. And you're not here to live chained. The moment you stop letting that voice control you, even for a day, you'll feel something strange: freedom. Freedom tastes unfamiliar at first. It feels scary, like stepping outside in a storm. But after a while, you realize something even stranger. Staying the same was scarier. Staying stuck, staying miserable, staying unfulfilled, that was the real danger. Here, what nobody tells you, growth will cost you your old life. It will cost you your old habits. It will cost you your old excuses. It will cost you your comfort, your laziness, your avoidance. It might cost you certain people, the ones who liked you better when you were easy to control, easy to predict, easy to manipulate. People don't fear your growth because it hurts them. They fear it because it exposes how little they've grown themselves. You will outgrow people. You will outgrow places. You will outgrow old versions of yourself. And instead of feeling guilty about that, you should feel proud. A tree doesn't apologize for getting taller. A flame doesn't apologize for burning brighter. You're evolving, and evolution requires shedding what no longer serves you. Let's talk about pain for a moment. Pain is not just something you feel, it's something that shapes you. Pain is a sculptor. It chisels away the weak parts of you, the parts that cling to illusions, the parts that whisper you can't survive without the things that are destroying you. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the messenger. It shows up to tell you what needs to change, what needs to die, and what needs to be born. Every strong person you've ever admired went through a chapter of suffering that nobody talks about. They had nights where they doubted everything. They had mornings where they didn't want to get out of bed. They had moments where they felt like imposters in their own lives. The only difference between them and everyone else is this: they didn't quit. They kept going even when they weren't motivated. They kept going even when nobody believed in them. They kept going even when progress was invisible. Motivation is overrated. Discipline is the real king. Motivation fades. Motivation disappears the second life punches you in the mouth. Discipline is different. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care who's watching. I made a promise to myself and I'm going to keep it. That's the mindset that changes lives. That's the mindset that builds legends. You aren't listening to this to feel good. You're listening because you're tired of your own excuses. You're tired of promising yourself change only to fall back into the same loop. You're tired of watching other people live the life you want while you stand on the sidelines convincing yourself you'll start someday. Let me ask you something real. How many times have you lied to yourself? How many times have you said you'll start tomorrow, next week, next month? How many dreams have you murdered with the word later? You know the answer and it hurts, but that pain you feel right now, that sting in your chest, that's good. That means you're still alive enough to change. The world is full of people who talk big and act small. People who dream loudly and work quietly, so quietly they never make a sound. Don't become one of them. If you want a different life, you need a different mindset. If you want new results, you need new habits. If you want to stop feeling stuck, you need to stop behaving like someone who is stuck. Your future self is waiting for you to take this seriously, waiting for you to stop settling, waiting for you to stop scrolling your life away, waiting for you to stop pretending you don't care when you know damn well you do. Think about the person you could become in 6 months if you stopped wasting time. Think about the body you could have, the discipline you could build, the confidence you could gain, the money you could earn, the relationships you could fix or replace. 6 months is nothing. 6 months of effort is a blink, yet that blink could change everything. Now think about the opposite, 6 more months of doing nothing. 6 more months of making excuses. 6 more months of procrastination. 6 more months of repeating the same cycle. You already know how that story ends because you've lived it before. Nothing changes until you change. Self-respect comes from self-discipline. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken your own foundation. But every time you keep a promise, even a small one, you become stronger. That's how confidence is built, not through words, but through action repeated until you can't help but believe in yourself. You've survived every bad day so far, every heartbreak, every disappointment, every failure, every mistake. You're still here. Do you understand how powerful that is? Life tried to break you and you're still standing. Don't waste that strength. Don't waste your survival on a version of yourself that isn't worthy of the things you want. You don't need permission to change your life. You don't need support. You don't need applause. You don't need anyone to believe in you. You need one thing, a decision. A decision that enough is enough. A decision that you're done playing small. A decision that the life you want is worth the discomfort, worth the sacrifice, worth the discipline, worth the loneliness, worth the grind. Because yes, growth is lonely. Leveling up is lonely. Improving yourself is lonely. Not because people hate you, but because not everyone is ready to grow with you. And that's okay. Don't slow down for people who refuse to move. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. If people get uncomfortable with your growth, let them. You're not responsible for their insecurities. Here's a truth most people aren't ready for. You are not who you think you are. You are who you repeatedly choose to be. Your identity is a collection of habits. If you have lazy habits, you become a lazy person. If you have disciplined habits, you become a disciplined person. Change the habits, change the identity. Change the identity, change the life. Your mind is a battlefield. Every day, thoughts fight for control. Some are there to build you, some are there to break you. The strongest thoughts win. So feed the right ones. Fuel your ambition. Starve your fear. Train your mind like you train a muscle, relentlessly. You want to know the real secret to success. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not connections, it's consistency. Consistency beats everything. Consistency turns average people into monsters. People who show up every day, even when it hurts, even when it's boring, even when the results are invisible, they win. Always. And here's something you need to understand deeply. Nobody is coming to save you. Not because nobody cares, but because this is your story, your fight, your responsibility. The day you stop expecting a rescue is the day you finally become unstoppable. So let this moment be your turning point. Not tomorrow,